Mic check. Mic check. Yeah, yeah. Alright, now this little audio slash video, um like I was sitting here thinking about this whole Meek Mill situation. Like the shit like I really feel bad for the guy, son. Like I really feel bad for him. 'Cause here's this guy who had a rough upbringing, like his childhood or whatever. Like father gets killed while trying to rob a bank. I heard. I didn't know that shit. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. Some like on some other YouTube um channel. Father got killed. Mother had trouble, whatever, and shit was rough for him, and we get that. But it's like now searching for attention and fame, money, and stuff like that. Here he is. He makes it, and bad decision. I'm sorry I have to say it. He went and tried to get at Drake, try to expose him. Shit backfired on him. And it's funny because if he hadn't done that, like if he didn't do that, like his album, like that shit would have been so great. The money, cause yo, that track with Drake, that shit was a banger. Like I was bumping that shit like crazy. And then later I found out, oh, they're beefing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like these niggas just got us. Nah. But it's like that shit kind of backfired on him. And now the fans, like when you plan something, you go through it. You're like, yo, this is how it's gonna be, da da da, and it's completely opposite. Like that shit fucks with you mentally. And the fans, I don't think the fans helped at all. They didn't do that shit at all. Like the way they was going at him, like they didn't help the shit. In some ways, it was funny. Like yeah, I was cracking up, but at the end, you kind of like feel bad for the guy. You know what I mean? You feel kind of bad, but it's like yo, you the one that went through it. But if he didn't go through it, like they would have been making so much money because that shit with Drake was a banger. You know what I mean? But now he's sitting here. It's like that decision fucked him up. Now here he is, where with the whole probation shit or whatever, or parole, whatever. Um, he fucks up. You go on tour, you have all these niggas smoking weed and all that shit. These niggas gonna hype you up, like, come on, son, you could do this after, blah, blah, blah. Little peer pressure, you end up doing some bullshit. It's like when they sit there, putting pressure on you to do these things, you the one that's gonna have to deal with the problem. Shit doesn't work out, you the one that gotta deal with it. Ain't nobody, the people who are sitting there hyping you up to smoke, to drink, whatever it was, they're not going. You can't go in front of the judge, and be like, "Yo, judge, he's the one that made me do this. Can you put him?" Nah, you're gonna deal with it by yourself. That's why you never really supposed to listen to people, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You know what I mean? You have to make the best decision that's gonna be for you, not for because some other person told you to do it. It's like you have to smarten up to know what's the best choice. What advice should I listen to? You know what I mean? Weigh your options. Because people, yeah, you should listen to people, take their advice, but also don't listen to the bad ones. You know what I mean? You got smart enough to know when to not listen to the bad ones. Now he's probably maybe going to jail, and it's like this is a scenario that I feel like every other black kid, every other kid, doesn't matter if you're black, whatever. They should be looking at this like, yo, this is what happens with fame, and we've heard it over and over, you know. But every time you hear it, people are like, man, get out of here with this corny shit, stop preaching and all that. But this is the shit that happens with fame. Nobody teaches you how to deal with fame. Nobody teaches you how to deal with it. It's not something normal. All that shit has a negative impact on you mentally in your life. That's why you look at all these child stars where they were the next shit, and then nowadays you look at them, you're like, what the fuck? Why they're crazy? They're doing all this shit. They're having drug problems. Well, it's all to deal with the fame. What is fame? You dealing with a bunch of people. Everybody, the whole world knows you. You make a mistake, everybody's talking about it, and it stays around. Especially now, the shit stays around for years. You strangers walking around, following you, taking pictures of you. You don't know them. You feeling like you being stalked, like you constantly being watched. That shit is annoying. My mother follows me around the house for like 30 seconds. I'm annoyed. I'm pissed off. Like imagine that shit your whole fucking life. Like we see Kanye, chasing, getting mad at paparazzi and shit. We like, what the hell is wrong with him? Blah blah blah. But bro, that shit is annoying. So it's like you dealing with all that, and now you probably going to jail, like over some drug shit, some peer pressure, like that shit is crazy. But it's like, who was there to teach, to tell him, like, yo, Meek, don't do this shit. Meek, don't do that, cause you got, you know what I mean? And he probably was so gassed up by the fans and all that shit, the fame, the attention, all that, the money. Like he probably wasn't, like people told him, and he probably was like, man, get out of here. You know what I mean? Cause you start feeling untouchable, and that's always the demise of everybody. Like y'all niggas sit there and love that Tony Montana shit, but y'all don't get the lesson. Like, bro, you on top of the world now. Tomorrow you not. Tomorrow you gone. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like 1 minute you could be all hot and shit, the next you're not. Everything is rolling. You made $1 million on tour, all this and that, and the next thing you know, it ain't no street shit. Cause everybody from the street, they be watching that, be like, yo, somebody from the street gonna take me out. And then this wasn't no street shit. This is the law. This is you fucked up probation. Like that shit is crazy. And especially when you're famous too. Like one of the thing is you gotta be extra careful when you're dealing with the law. Because you're famous, they're not gonna go easy on you. They're gonna make an example out of you. That's when the word deterrence comes from, where the punishment and whatnot is supposed to stop other people from doing that same shit you did. So they kind of basically making an example out of you. So now any other person that comes around, thinking, yeah, I got all this money, blah blah blah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'll get away with it, cause Meek did. Nah, they're like, yo, Meek, we're gonna use Meek to kind of like send a message out to everybody else. You know what I mean? And yeah, you married to Nicki Minaj, all that shit. Yo, they don't give a fuck. That's just another female. That's just another woman. Like, okay, that's your girl. We don't care. You guys are famous. The law is not gonna look at, oh, this person is famous or this person. Nah, they don't care about that. They're not gonna care about that. But also, you're gonna be like, oh, some people got away with it. Or if they were white, if Meek was white, da da da. Nah, it's money talk. You got a lot of money to put up. Well, there's your lawyer. You're gonna get the best lawyer. A lawyer's gonna find some loophole. But there are certain situations you get yourself in, and it's like, yo, no fucking lawyer can do anything for you. Like you looked at the whole Tony Montana movie, like they caught the nigga counting dirty money on camera. What are you gonna tell the judge? They got evidence. You can't work your way around it. You know what I mean? So it's like you get yourself in these situations. It's just like, damn, I feel bad for the guy, but it's like, bro, you should have. I guess it's the whole I'm untouchable. They're not gonna catch me. Oh, it's just this for a little minute. Da da da. I'll get away with it. Not listening to people, or maybe the fans kind of fucked his mind up. You know what I mean? He wasn't there, and it's like now he's coming back to reality. Like, oh shit. Like I could go back to this life, like being in jail, like back to, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you going to be a nobody. Like all your fame, all that hard work you put in to accomplish something, it's like all that shit gets stripped away from you. Like that shit is whack. Well, it's like, yo, this should be a lesson to everybody else. Like imagine if somebody else had went through this whole ordeal before Meek made it. You know what I mean? Meek could have looked at it and like, oh shit, this is what I'm not gonna do. You know what I mean? But I don't think he had that. Because a lot of street dudes, they don't look up to people like that. You know what I mean? Some of them be like, man, that's not going to be me. In that whole mentality, that's not gonna be me. Like certain things go bad for people, and you're like, yo, you should look at that and not repeat that same mistake. And niggas be like, man, that's not gonna be me. That nigga's stupid, man. I wouldn't do that shit that way. It's like, yeah, that's what everybody says. It's like everybody goes through the same mistakes, cause they all think, oh no, that's not gonna be me. I'm smarter than that. Uh, that's not gonna be me. I got money. It's like, yo, something will happen. I mean, just learn from the other people's mistake and go the best route. Look up to the people that ain't never had problems. Like, stay away from drugs, especially when they cracking down on drugs and your dumbass is in there doing those shit and you rapping about it. You doing all this. Rappers, the whole gangster shit. Yo, you keep rapping about doing all this illegal shit. You just bringing more attention on yourself. It's like you want to be hard for the street. You want to be hard for the street. Well, guess what you're doing? You just persuading the cops more and more and more to keep an eye on you. So now whenever you fuck up, they right there. It's like, gotcha. You know what I mean? The more mixtape you drop where you talking more street shit, more you talking more reckless and shit, the more and more they like, we need to come keep go we need more people to be watching this nigga. And the minute you slip up, that's it. And it's funny when you're famous, like somebody in your entourage gets caught up in some shit, they're not going to just arrest that person and be like, oh, we caught that person. No. They'd be like, nah, we caught one of the Meek Mill people. You feel me? It's like, yo, I don't even know this nigga. It'd be like, oh, we caught the, the, the fucking, like if he has his own personal maid or some shit, or the maid had weed and this and that. It's like, motherfucker, I barely deal with this person. Or the doorman. It's like they find the whatever kind of tie they have to you when you're famous, they use it to talk about you. They bring your name in, and it's like, yo, I don't even deal with this person. Why is my name being brought up in that shit? You know what I mean? And it's like, as a rapper, gangster rap shit, not a lot of most of the people dealing with the law, they're not gonna like you because you're being a bad influence. Because you're going around saying all this gangster shit. Now these kids are fucking growing up thinking this is the cool way to do shit. This is the thing they have to do, and they'll end up in your spot. They idolize you. You look at a nigga on TV talking about doing all this dirty shit, and you kind of doing it. You're in the environment to do it, and he made it out. You're gonna be like, yo, I could make it out. That could be me. But y'all gotta sit there instead of rapping and saying all this shit. You gotta go out there and tell these kids like, yo, don't do it this way. Don't do it that way. You'll get caught up. But nobody wants to do that. They want to fuck up their street cred. And it's like, you know what I mean? When you don't do that, the cops are not gonna go easy on you. They're gonna be like, yo, you're a bad influence, bro. The sooner we could shut you up and lock you up or some bullshit like that, son, we gonna do it. And the more you talk about all this rap, dirty rap, doing all this illegal shit, the more eyes you bringing on yourself. It's like nobody gets that. Everybody's still going like, hey, that's not gonna be me. I got money. I'll get a good lawyer. It's like, yeah, okay. These people are sitting there trying to like your luck because a lot of people think rappers are the problem. Rappers is what's causing a lot of these African American kids, in the ghetto to be criminals and shit. But I kind of went off a little off topic because I just wanted to talk about the whole Meek situation and all that shit. Like I feel bad. Like you watch so many people, they came from nothing, made it, got the attention, and then somehow, some way, they found some way to fuck up. That's why when the whole now still related to Meek, like Rick Ross and them when they beefing with 50, talking about, yo, I'm what you used to be and shit. It's like the way you feeling right now, you on top of the world. 50 used to 50 used to feel like that, like he on top of the world. Now 50, like he went down, whether he wants to believe it or not, he went down. And it's like Rick Ross is at the top. He feels at the top. You don't know, like 5 more years, this nigga's gonna be right where 50 is at too. Everybody has their little 15 minute of fame. Every empire went up and then went down again, right? Nothing really lasts. Like you go up, you come back down again. You know what I mean? You have to work your way back up again. That's how it goes. Up, down, up, down. Everybody get their 15 minutes. It's like how many people were famous, whatever, and then after a while you don't hear shit from them. Like look at that kid, Home Alone, Like he was on top of the world, and now this dude is fucking what a drug addict and shit. It's like who would have thought he would have been right where he's at, like making all this money. Tyson, MC Hammer, all these like people you always hear about them. It's like they make it, they're on top of the world, and then they come soaring right back down. But everybody's like, oh, that's not gonna be me. Stop repeating the mistakes of people already. They already made it. Why are you doing it again? That shit is stupid. And stop being gassed up with yourself, thinking, yo, I'm on top. I'm on top. Making fun of the other people that's at the bottom, because it's like, nigga, you'll be right back down here again, right? It takes 9 months to have a baby. It take a millisecond to get rid of that baby. Put a bullet through the head or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it takes so long to create something great, but it'll go in a snap of a finger. Blink your eye, all that shit is gone. It takes how long to make a car? One little slip up on the road, the car is destroyed, totaled. You know what I mean? You work hard to create all this shit, and then you lose it in the blink of an eye. So you gotta be watch out, watch your moves, watch how you go about things. Cause as much time as it takes to create something great, it takes a fraction of that to destroy it, to completely, for it to be completely obliterated. But yeah, I kind of be talking too long on this shit, man. But all right.